Just in the last 72 hours, we've had Brandon Straka, who is the founder of the Walkaway campaign, the Unsilent minority. I got it that time finally right. He was denied service, I believe, in New York City because the owner of the camera shop said that he was the alt-right. So I guess now anybody that's right of Michael Moore is the alt-right. Scott Pruitt, the head of the EPA, resigned, and he cited family threats and basically the fact he can't even go in public anymore and eat without being harassed. A 16-year-old kid was wearing a MAGA hat on the 4th of July, supporting the president on the 4th of July with a color, themed red, white, and blue, and somebody threw a drink in his face and took his hat, said he was going to burn it in the fireplace. The Oakland resistors, I guess, probably liberals and Democrats, but we're not sure, they were resisting ICE. So much so that they didn't even realize that ICE was there to bust a human trafficking situation on juveniles. So that's what resistors are doing now. They're so delusional that they're trying to interfere with law enforcement when law enforcement is busting a human trafficking bust on juveniles. And there was a brick thrown through a GOP window in Nebraska. Overall, and I do want to say too, a month ago, you had Christians who didn't want to bake a cake for gay people, or that was the court ruled that was okay. Now you have liberals not refusing to serve gay hairdressers because they're too far right. I warned you guys about a week ago, probably a little less than a week, that they put out a hit piece on Brandon and they called him the alt-right or the far right, or they put a little Pepe meme next to him. So I already told you, branding wise, they were trying to put him in the alt-right section. Just like Malcolm X said, the media controls the minds of the masses. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. The media has the power to make the guilty look innocent and the innocent look guilty. That's power. They have the ability to let people ignore 10 million people starving in a country and 2 million people homeless here and focus on 2,000 people that are temporarily separated from their parents. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. That's why it is a huge blessing actually for myself to not have that much attention in media press. For as many views I've gotten, I've almost gotten virtually no press, which sometimes you could think, oh man, I wish I had press. But to be honest, like 99% of the time, I'm like, I don't want press, because the second that they write about me, I know that they're not going to try to write something that's fair or honest or accurate. They're going to try to sick their zombies on me. With Brandon, he's a gay hairdresser who's leaving the left because the left is now becoming the more, disillusioned. They're becoming more negative, more violent. They're the ones bringing us back to the 1950s civil rights era in many ways. And, he left for that reason, so they continue to pour on that negativity and hatred towards him. That's why he left, and they're just further doing that. But that's why I don't want press, because I know what the press does. And eventually, it happens to everybody, but they don't really try to, bring people together or focus on a solution. They're literally making people turn against each other and just like sifting these ideas into people's head, where they're like, Scott Pruitt, destroy his life. Brandon Straka, destroy his life. Kid with a MAGA hat. It's all branding, and the media is very, very powerful, and they have the ability to pretty much brand anyone the way that they want. So I just wanted to tell that story real quick and let Brandon know to stay strong. I'm sorry that camera place didn't serve you. To Scott Pruitt, I have no idea what you were doing, how good of a job you were doing, but I don't think anybody deserves threats. To the 16-year-old kid with a MAGA hat, I mean, I'm sure your life's going to be better. I think, all right, someone called in, but overall, that's the first story I wanted to lean in with, and now we'll go to the Ask Me Anything question and answer. So thank you guys for being patient.